Hi, this is Akinoti Joseph Akitola, the principal consultant of Intangible Resources Limited, a consulting firm that specializes in the area of management and marketing. And Intangible since June 2008 has been helping businesses to structure and to market. We've been able to triple sales of many organizations, and we've been able to put structure into some businesses that others are just running like self-employed enterprise. So this afternoon or this day, I've come your way to introduce a program to you titled Entrepreneurship. Or let me give you a quote, Entrepreneurship 101. Why am I coming your way with Entrepreneurship 101 this day? We personally, as a student of development, prosperity, and history, have been able to see something clearly that it is time for Africa to take the center stage in the wealth of nations. And unfortunately, many Africans are not saying this thing. That is why a burden on my heart to propagate the gospel of entrepreneurship pushes me to the level of creating many platforms to share ideas about entrepreneurship to African youths. And I want you to know something that Africa time, Africa's time has come to take the center stage of the prosperity of nations. Among the wealthy nations of the world, Africa is gradually emerging as a beautiful bride that every nations of the world wants to betroth. Why am I saying that? A time comes upon a people that they have to decide to be great. It's our time to make that quality decision to become great. And the tool that brings greatness to every nation of the world is called entrepreneurship. That word entrepreneur was first made or coined by a man, a Frenchman called Jean Baptiste Say in 1800. Baptiste Say was a student of Adam Smith. Adam Smith wrote a book in 1776 called The Wealth of Nations. And a lot of countries in the world, a lot of philosophers, a lot of intelligent people in the world grabbed the book and studied the book. Say was one of such people. And after reading about free enterprise and how the nature guides the wealth of nations, he came up with that definition of a man called entrepreneur. And in his definition, entrepreneur means someone who can locate the large pool of resources in a place and make it and transfer it from that place to a place where that such resources is scarce and make little profit from it. So that is an entrepreneur. So that is why in every nation that develops in the world, it is the entrepreneurs in those countries that develop the nation. Many will not believe me. I have some video to back my point. I have studied the development in America and how prosperity came to America. I saw that before 1903, when Henry Ford made the first car, America was generally or majorly poor. Majority of Americans were plumber, and many that are not plumber, they were working in railway stations. And America does not have big road. America's tiny road for the short rail system that shuttles within the city. And suddenly Henry Ford made Model T. He attempted at first to make Model A, which was small and could not contain much people. And then he upgraded on Model A to produce Model T, and Model T was mass produced. And it gave prosperity to America as a nation, and it brought development to America as a nation. Not only that, before Isaac Singer made the Singer machine, sewing machine, Americans only had one or two pair of clothes. But when Singer made that machine, which was alien to the people, he was able to educate people on how to use this machine, and gradually it it brought development to America as a nation. People began to know how to sew, and then people began to have more than one or two pair of clothes, and then they began to build wardrobe, and people began to do other things. When Henry Ford made car, Americans were not traveling from one city to the other because there was no means to do that except by rail. But when Henry Ford made the first car, people began to develop interest in touring their communities, and then hotel business sprang up. Some short vacation business sprang up. Recreation centers came up. Many businesses developed around what Henry Ford brought to America. The same way with Isaac Singer's sewing machine. So it is time for the entrepreneurs in Africa to begin to bring out some things that will develop Africa, thereby attract prosperity to Africa. Let me tell you something. Many things that people call entrepreneurship in Africa is not. For instance, trading, buying and selling is not entrepreneurship at all. It's not. One typical African who has explored this idea of entrepreneurship is Mo Ibrahim, who single-handedly brought telecommunication to Africa. When he was leaving America to bring it, he told his peers and colleagues, and they laughed him to scorn. But he came to Africa. The reason why they laughed him to scorn was because were many challenges, and he sat down to think through those challenges. So in entrepreneurship, there are challenges you have to think through, and then you have to do what we call ideation. So after Mo Ibrahim was able to solve some problems, they come up with how people will be recharging their phones, come up with the issue of power supply, and they come up with optic fiber that will be powered by generator at the station. So they began to build many optic fiber stations, and they began to station 2 generators to power it. And from there, Africa eventually got telecommunication. From that, the development that came to Africa through telecommunication, only intelligent people can properly account for it. Because when the telecommunication came, a lot of jobs came to Africa. A lot of jobs came to Africa. A lot of things people were not thinking about. Cell phone selling, businesses came to Africa. And that is where many people began to project and begin to make money. For instance, Nnamdi Ezeugbo, the founder and CEO of Slot Communications Limited, was able to spot this development early, and was able to pioneer the production of phones by bringing in Techno and Infinix. This is the way to liberate Africa. And this is the program we want to do on a series. We want people to learn what is entrepreneurship. And I want them to begin to see what is in them that the world is waiting for. That is why we are projecting this program to you. It's going to be done in a series, and you will love it. I can tell you, you will love it. So we're developing this program. In the program, we'll do ideation. How do people come up with ideas that will be lovely? And how do you project your idea to solve problems in the society? And how do you solve challenge? How do you solve problems that is posing as a threat to your idea? Because in the Chinese language, the same word that means crisis also means opportunity. Africa's time has come to develop, and no politicians will develop Africa. It is Africans who can position the Mark Zuckerberg of Africa, the Elon Musk of Africa. It is time for them to come up right now. And this is what this program is about to do. I can tell you, if you join this series, you will enjoy it. Very soon, we'll tell you when we are coming up with a series, but the program is titled Entrepreneurship 101. Watch out for it. I am sure you will be elevated by listening to that program. Thank you. See you next time.